It's Valentine's Day. Love is in the air. There's cards and flowers and kind words. And listen, all that matters. I get it. But friend, there's another kind of love language that doesn't get talked about enough. And that's money conversations. Because it's hard to feel close when finances feel tense all the time. And it's hard to feel connected when money talks turn into constant arguments. And if you've been dreading that next we need to talk moment, you're not crazy for feeling that way. You're just tired. And you're going to be okay. So here's the question we're answering today. How can you have a healthy financial conversation with your partner? And here's what I promise you. By the end of this episode, you're going to know how to choose the right moment to talk about money, what language keeps the conversation safe instead of defensive, and how to turn money talks into moments of connection. I know we got a lot to cover today, but today isn't about lectures. It's not about blame. It's just practical love in action on this Valentine's Day.
Confident Christian, living with purpose and vision, heart, soul, and no division. We ride.
Here's the question I hear all too often. Ralph, how do we talk about money without turning it into a fight? Or maybe this one. How do I bring up money without starting an argument? And I want to start off by saying something really pointed at the beginning. That question shows love. Because you're not just trying to fix a budget. You're trying to protect a relationship. So if money talks feel tense, if you rehearse what to say and still feel misunderstood, and if you avoid the topic altogether because it feels safer to just avoid it, you're not bad at communication and you're not failing. You're just dealing with something emotional without a shared plan. And when there's no shared plan, every conversation feels like a surprise test. And I don't know about you, but when I was in school, I didn't like those surprise tests. And friend, you don't need more pressure. You need a safer way to talk. And guess what? That's learnable. Here's the truth. Money conversations don't fail because people don't care. I just don't believe that. They fail because they happen at the wrong time, in the wrong tone, with the wrong goal. Think about the last time you had a disagreement about money. Was it at the right time? Did you have the right tone? And what about your goal? See, if the goal is prove I'm right or I'm going to make you change, you're going to feel tension because nobody feels safe when they're being targeted. They just don't. Healthy money conversations aren't built in crisis. They're built intentionally. And personally, I've watched couples transform their finances without ever changing their income. See, a lot of people say, well, Ralph, all they did was they made more money. No, that's not what did it. It was by changing how they talked to each other. They didn't get louder. They actually talked more often, but they talked safer. And friend, when conversation gets safer, progress gets easier. I never forget, I once spoke with a couple who said, we only talk about money when something goes wrong. There's the problem. Every time there was an overdraft, boy, they had a shouting match. That unexpected bill, those stressful surprises that come with life. So every single money conversation felt urgent because it was. It was accusatory. It was heavy. It was burdensome. It was not a safe place. And I asked them this. I said, what if you talked about money when nothing is on fire? They looked at me like I was crazy. But they started that doing it simply. Just one check-in each week. It wasn't about blame, just an update on where we are. And friend, over time, that couple started feeling better about each other. Money stopped feeling like an enemy. And it started feeling like a shared responsibility because that's what it was. This is the same couple making the same income. What changed? Their tone and the peace. So here's today's central question. What would change if money conversations felt safe in your home? What would change if both of you could breathe while talking about that budget? And listen, we're not aiming for perfection today. We're just aiming for safety. Well, I'm going to give you a simple framework you can remember. It's called calm, we, goals, routine. Again, that's calm, we, goals, and routine. Let's start with calm. This is where it really has to begin. You got to pick the right moment. Don't start money talks mid-argument. That is not the time to talk about money. Don't do it when somebody's hungry. They call it hangry. If you're hangry, this is not time to talk about money. Don't do it when you're tired. Don't do it when you're rushing out the door. You got to think about this. What is the time? Timing is kindness. Try this sentence. Hey, can we talk about money for 15 minutes later tonight? When you're relaxed, when you're not rushing out the door. There's not some stress point. Not, we need to talk right now. Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, you come to me and you say, we need to talk right now. Defense is up. I'm tensed up. I'm clenched up. Because the goal is calm. Because calm keeps people open. You don't want to close. If you're like this and you're closed, nobody's hearing you. Let's go to we. We use teamwork language. This is huge. This is the dynamic. If you go and say you always, or you never, or you spent, as soon as you hear the word you, the defenses are up, aren't they? Instead, try this. We need a plan we both can feel good about. Or how about this? How can we make next month feel a little stressful for both of us? Friend, your words can either build a wall or build a bridge. What do you want here? You don't need a wall. The wall's already up. You need to build a bridge. And if you mess this up sometimes, you're not the villain. You're human. Just reset and start again tomorrow, which leads me to goals. You got to aim at the future, not the past. This is what bogs down a lot of people in this. A lot of money talks becomes trials. It's like you set the jury and you're on trial. Who did what? Who messed up? Who's right? If you live in that, friend, that's exhausting. And you're never going to build past that. Instead, try future language. What do we want money to support in our lives? See, it's that shared vision. Do we want more peace? Do we want less debt? Do we want a cushion? Hey, maybe it's a family trip. It's a safer month. And when you talk about goals, stop blaming. So many people say, you did this and you did that and you did this and you know what? You're not getting anywhere with that. Start building something together, which leads me to routine. Routine is the secret to this. Consistency beats the crisis every time because that's where trust grows. Those short, regular conversations build safety over time, even 10 minutes, just once a week. It moves it away from the crisis. Because when you wait until something breaks, your brain learns this. Money talk equals danger. There's a problem here. As soon as you hear money, there must be a problem. Something's overdrafted. There's an emergency bill. Somebody's sick. But that routine teaches money talks equal teamwork. This is our teamwork time. And friend, one more gentle thing. Keep the first conversation small. When I work with couples, when I do what I'll call couples counseling, they try to fix everything at once. You are never going to fix 5 years of things in one night. It isn't going to happen. Start with what's one win for this week? Hey, maybe it's just one win for this month. What's one stress we can reduce together this month? That small win restores hope, and hope keeps couples connected. Which leads me to today's Bible verse. It comes to us from the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 29. Do not let unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. Now listen, that verse isn't telling you to be fake. A lot of people say, well, I got to pretend I'm going to put on this show, Ralph. No, it's reminding you that your words have power. They can tear people down or they can build safety. And when it comes to money, choose words that protect that love that you have for each other. So here's your action step for today. It's simple and it's doable. I want you to set aside a 30-minute money talk date this week. Now you might be thinking, wait, Ralph, date night? Yes, we're going to do a money talk date night. This isn't time to argue. It's not the time to fix everything. It's just the time to get connected. And here's a simple agenda. I want you to start with one thank you. Yes, I started there. Say this, I appreciate how you, and name one thing that you appreciate about that other person. The second thing is ask one calm question. What's one money thing that's been stressing you? Ask each of you that. And in part 3, choose one small next step. What's one small move we can make this week to feel more stable? Just 3 simple questions. That's it. Connection before correction. And friend, that's love in action. Lord, thank you for the gift of love. Help us communicate with grace. Give us courage to speak honestly and wisdom to speak gently. Heal places where money has created tension. Teach us to listen well and to build unity one conversation at a time. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Friend, if money conversations feel hard right now, you're not the only one feeling that. And honestly, you don't have to figure it out alone anymore. Come join our community at financiallyconfidentchristian.com/join. Again, that's financiallyconfidentchristian.com/join. People in this community tell me it's a place where they feel safe. It's a place where they can admit money talks are hard for us, Ralph. But it's a place without judgment, without shame, and without feeling like you're failing. One member shared this. We stopped dreading money talks and we started feeling like a team again. That kind of hope is for you too, my friend. So go to financiallyconfidentchristian.com/join. Friend, love isn't just what you feel. It's how you listen. It's how you speak. It's how you build together. And you can learn this, even if you didn't grow up with it, even if you've never seen this mirrored in your own life, and even if you've had hard fights before. You can start again. You can start today with just one calm conversation, just one gentle sentence, and one small step. And we're going to continue this tomorrow. We're going to keep it going. We're going to talk about debt and marriage, how you can tackle it together without blame. We're going to have a barn burner tomorrow. And if this episode helped you today, I want to encourage you to share it with a couple who needs to communicate better. Guess what? A lot of couples need to hear this message. Because this show isn't about financial shame. It's about walking in wisdom, staying steady, and truly becoming a financially confident Christian. God bless you, friend. And don't forget to join me again on tomorrow's show.
Financially confident Christian.